Hey guys, and welcome back to another shorter little episode of Federico Talks Watches. I'm finally back in the office. I wanted to thank all you guys for the well wishes. Obviously, I am fine, but very happy to be going back to work. Now today, this little video is about a little Omega MoonSwatch update. We're going to talk about a quote that Nick Hayek, or Mr. Hayek, gave to Fratello Watches about the MoonSwatch situation and my thoughts on it. And boy, is it going to be a doozy. Now, of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Rotary, the first automatic watch I ever purchased with my own money. Haven't worn it in a very long time, but it still sits in my watch box, and decided to bust it out today. And also, guys, don't forget to check out DelReyWatch.com. We just got in an Omega Seamaster Trilogy Edition. Very hard to find. Full box, full kit, cheapest one in the country. We got a Lange Grand Saxonia with that killer movement. Also very rare. And a Moser Venturer Blue Dial. The most beautiful dials in the business, along with Grand Seiko, but I still give Moser the edge on this one. Is available all at DelReyWatch.com, along with a bunch of other things. Link in the description below. So anyway, MoonSwatch recap, made a video on it. Plastic little Swatch watch based on the Omega Speedmaster. People waited in line forever, overnight. They sold out. People tried to sell them for like $2,000-3,000, even though the retail price, I think, is $200 and change. They successfully did for a day or two until the whole thing crumbled when they found out it wasn't limited edition and the watch was, just that, a $200 piece of plastic. Nothing wrong with that. I actually like the MoonSwatch. I'll own it. Swatch also announced it's not a limited edition. They're sold out now, but they will be available in the future. All that good stuff, but a whole bunch of hubbub for nothing because a bunch of morons and flippers decided to camp overnight, even though the watch, with a little bit of patience, is readily available. Anyway, in an article I read on Watch Pro, Mr. Hayek, the CEO of Swatch, talked about basically why the MoonSwatch will never be available online. And no problem with not selling the MoonSwatch online. I get it. Not everything belongs online, even though I disagree with him. But the reasoning, I thought, was a little hilarious. And I'm going to read the quote from the article from Mr. Hayek. "There is no emotion in buying online. It's a carefully produced Swiss-made watch, not a commodity. After the whole world had to stay at home for 2 years because of COVID, it was about time to celebrate and to bring people back on the streets, meet together, and revive brick-and-mortar stores." Mr. Hayek tells Fratello founder and editor-in-chief Robert Jan Brouwer. Let's break down this quote. Well, yes, we're all happy COVID is over. Absolutely. Great time to celebrate. But there is no emotion in buying online. Okay, I can kind of see that. But is there emotion in buying a plastic-made watch that the plastic is proven to bleed onto people's skin? Maybe. It's a very expensive watch for some people, and it's pretty cool, but okay. But let's break down the second sentence, my favorite. It's a carefully produced Swiss-made watch, not a commodity. Well, okay, it's not a commodity. It's proven not to be a commodity after the prices crumbled. And I don't think watches should be a commodity anyway, so nothing wrong there. But to call the Omega MoonSwatch a carefully produced Swiss-made watch is... Well, I'm trying to be careful and humble here because Mr. Hayek is a very powerful man and I'm just a YouTuber. Well, it's borderline absurd. It's a plastic watch with a disposable, non-serviceable movement that is piggybacking off an Omega design. Now, Omega and Swatch are owned by the same group, the Swatch group, so that's allowed. But it's nothing but a fun, cheap, fully disposable copy of an icon. There is nothing carefully produced about it. The plastic has seemed to bleed on people's wrists. They call it bioceramic, fancy word for plastic. And yes, I guess it is a Swiss-made watch, even though a watchmaker probably doesn't touch it. It's entirely built by robots. Now, are those robots located in Switzerland? Yeah, okay, technically they are, but let's not pretend we got like a 70-year-old skilled watchmaker humped over his bench with the Swiss Alps behind him building this thing. It's a toy. It's a toy watch. It's an inexpensive watch. Nothing wrong with all these things. I own a Swatch System 51. But don't make it sound like you're selling a Nautilus and that we should be, happy for the privilege to go to a Swatch store. The whole reason you're not selling it online is because Swatch stores, apart from airports, I always go to the Swatch store in airports, which, by the way, they don't sell System 51s. You have to go to the ones in cities. The only reason you're selling it in Swatch stores is because Swatch stores are basically irrelevant. When was the last time you walked into a Swatch store to check out their new collection? And nothing wrong with that. It's a great way to get bodies into your retail store. They come in for a MoonSwatch, maybe see something else, buy something else. It's a great promotional hype. But don't you dare pawn this off as a carefully produced Swiss-made watch which is too worthy to be sold online. Because Mr. Hayek, you're a fantastic marketer, and I'm picking my words carefully here because I don't pick fights with giants, and I'm not trying to pick a fight. But please, listen to yourself next time you decide to give a quote like this. It is entirely ludicrous. I'm a fan of the MoonSwatch. I will own a MoonSwatch, and I will go to Swatch in Miami to pick one up because that's where I have to buy one. But would I rather buy it online? Absolutely. Were you making my life more convenient to buy it online? Absolutely. And if we want to talk about COVID, which, by the way, not to be political, isn't necessarily done yet, maybe the more responsible thing is to sell it online instead of having hordes of people wait in line for your product wearing masks back when you launched it. So the whole thing just stinks of marketing and CEO babble, in my opinion. And I don't know. It's just something I thought I had to discuss because when I read this, I literally laughed out loud. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm too harsh. Maybe I'm not. Regardless, Mr. Hayek is a genius. Love Swatch Group. Love Breguet. Love Swatch. Been a big Swatch fan for a while. Obviously love Omega. Doing some fantastic things, but it's quotes like this that sometimes make me wonder, make me question people's perception of reality. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. Another video in a couple days. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.